in the zone. When it's time for the moment, you already know. Flip the channel, hear that voice. Big stakes, big stage, one choice. From the coin toss to the last shot, he break it all down on the spot. Sideline swagger, zip up jacket. Notes in the pad, whole board mapped it. Every city, every loud crowd chanting. If the trophy on the line, he's standing. It's the KR Big Game Show. You feel that buzz soon as lights go. If it's win or lose, he gon' be there. Talking every play like fresh air. Bills Mafia riding, whole nation loud. Big smile steady in the tensest crowd. When the big game hit, he on call for show. It's the KR Big Game Show. KR in the zone. When it's time for the moment, you already know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the KR Big Game Show with your host, Big Game Kerry Reeves.
Good evening, Knoxville. How's everybody doing tonight on this Wednesday night? I hope everybody's doing great. We're having the sports that are going on right now. The things that are going on in the world of sports right now is just absolutely incredible. We're going to get punch right and get right into it. Hope everybody's doing well. And just want to let you know that the opinions of views of KR's Big Game Show of any organization or entities, they're solely our RAC view and guest panelists' views. And I still want to thank everybody for watching our channel. We haven't updated our numbers yet, but we are probably over 200 subscribers and way over 20,000 views. So keep punching the like button, sharing the call. In the NBA, in the association, because I'm telling you this, the action is just going very strong. The playoffs have been absolutely fantastic. You've got half of the conference finals have already been set in the East and West. You got Oklahoma City, who has played so well, is 8-0 during the conference playoffs so far. The Knicks are sick, and with Oklahoma City dispatching of LA and I forgot who else they dispatched, and who else they dispatched, but they're 8-0 right now in the playoffs, looking strong, getting ready to defend their Western Conference title against either the winner of San Antonio and Minnesota, and that is a fantastic series right now. That series has had a little bit of everything with buzzer beater by Minnesota. You had Wemby getting kicked out of game 4, came back with a hell of a response in game 5, the way you're supposed to respond. It's 3-2 right now, going back to Minnesota for game 6 tomorrow night, and if there's a possibility, game 7 will be this weekend in San Antonio if it's necessary, if San Antonio does not take care of business and win game 6. You got in the East, you got the Knicks. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the Knicks being down 2-1 to Atlanta, and everybody's screaming going, is Mike Browner about to get fired if he loses the first round series to Atlanta? We've gone from that to the Knicks can't be stopped right now. Offensive philosophy switch. Karl Anthony Towns is absolutely fantastic in his point forward role. Jalen Brunson coming off the ball. You got Mikal Bridges hitting shots finally. You got OG Anunoby, who's been fantastic. He missed the last 2 games of the Philly series with a hamstring, but just learned from Shams Charania, ESPN's top NBA reporter, that he will be available for the Eastern Conference Finals. That is fantastic news. The rest and the wait will be really good, because right now the other series that's going on is probably one of the more confounding series that I've ever seen with Detroit and Cleveland. You got 2 teams that when they're at home played absolutely phenomenal. When on the road, they look like they've never played the game of basketball before. That's what this series. Neither team has won a game on the road in the postseason. Both teams have won all their home games. What's going to be interesting tonight, this is a pivotal game in game 5, because the winner of game 5 usually wins the series about 73% of the time. So this is a big game tonight, game 5 in Detroit, with Cleveland and Detroit. And right now, the way both of them are playing, being inconsistent, I can't see either of them beating the Knicks in an Eastern Conference final, but we're going to see what happens. The action has been good. We're going to be surprised at one point or another. Will the Spurs advance? Will Minnesota advance? Who survives the Cleveland-Detroit series to face the Knicks? We'll find out. Hopefully, probably in the next few days, we will get closure to these series, because both of the Western Conference Final and the Eastern Conference Finals looks like they're going to start next week around Tuesday and Wednesday. with NBC doing the Western Conference Finals and ESPN and ABC doing the Eastern Conference Finals, and then ABC, ESPN gets the finals. And this past weekend was the NBA draft lottery. And under this old format where if you had percentages of the teams with the worst record, lately teams with the worst record don't seem to win the number one draft pick until Sunday when the Washington Wizards, who had the worst record in the league, actually won the NBA draft lottery. Second was Utah. Third was Memphis, and fourth for Chicago. Utah and Memphis and Chicago snuck into the top four due to drawings that were down below, and some of the other teams that were supposed to have been some of the worst records did not get in. They got. And this crop of college kids that are coming out this year, absolutely incredible. If you're drafted 1 through 20, you're guaranteed to get a really solid player. The players that are out there like AJ Dubonsa, Caleb Wilson, Dennis Acuff, you've got Carlos Boozer Jr. You got all kinds of talented guys that are going to be available. Kingston Flemings from Houston. You got all kinds of guys that are going to be drafted, that are going to be eligible. And I'm not even I haven't even brought up the international players yet, but the American players that are in this draft. You got a chance to really establish yourself and get yourself a franchise type player in this NBA draft, which is going to be absolutely outstanding. And it happens on June 29th after the NBA finals. Right now, they're at the Combine in Chicago, working out for the scouts, getting interviews, doing everything. It's their 3 days worth of getting everything together for interviews and everybody talking to them. It's going to be a lot of fun. The NBA is going strong right now, and we're just getting ready to see how this is going to go with the conference finals and the finals. Moving on to the NHL, you want to talk about playoff action personified? The NHL has been unbelievable. Right now, it's just like in the NBA. You got two teams waiting on conference final opponents. You got Carolina, you got one waiting on a conference final. You got Carolina Hurricanes, who are 8-0, who have swept through Ottawa and Philadelphia in the playoffs so far. Colorado in the West, the overall number one seed, has made it through. Has made it through the Kings, and now it looks like they're going to make it through the Wild tonight. They play Game 5 tonight, up 3-1. They should be able to close that out, and they look like they're on a course to possibly beat each other, unless these other two series, which have been absolutely phenomenal. Montreal and my Sabres are 2-2 after Buffalo wins a clutch Game 4 last night in Montreal, despite all the terrible officiating in that game, and that was some really terrible officiating. And the Anaheim-Vegas series, which hasn't gotten a lot of attention, has really been a fun series. It's been back and forth. Nobody has won Nobody has won consecutive games in this series. They have alternated wins. Vegas has won games 1, 3, and 5. Anaheim has won games 2 and 4. If this continues, Anaheim may win tomorrow night, push us to a game 7 this weekend in Vegas. But the action has been great. The action has been really good. Buffalo and Montreal are behind because they started their series late because Montreal went to 7 games. Also, too, congratulations to the Maple Leafs on this end for winning the number one pick in the NHL June lottery draft. Their draft happens 2 days before the NBA draft. But also some news today about Toronto Blue Jays. They fired their coach Craig Berube after 2 years with new management and everything coming in. They're going for a complete overhaul, and it made no sense to keep your head coach who you didn't hire, who have no loyalty to. So they are doing a complete rebuild in Toronto. They got the number one pick. What they do with it, there's a lot of good players out there. It's going to be an interesting draft. The draft will happen June the 26th in Buffalo for the NHL draft. Let's get to my fun part, though, of the week. We're talking about tomorrow night will be the official release of the NFL schedule for 2026. Although, thanks to leaks, we've gotten some idea of some of the games that have gone on so far. And the games that we know of as of this moment, we have San Francisco versus the Rams in Australia on the Thursday, September the 10th. The 9th, I forgot to put that one in there. The Seattle Seahawks on a Wednesday night will be the defending champions, play the first game of the year on September the 9th. Opponent has not been determined yet. We may find out tonight. We'll definitely find out tomorrow. Week number 1 also keeps going with a Sunday night game with Dallas and against the New York Giants in the Meadowlands, with John Harbaugh making his Giant debut as head coach. You have Monday, the first Monday night game of the year. Will it be the return of both Bo Nix and Patrick Mahomes as Denver goes to Kansas City for the first Monday night game? There's a possibility one may be back, but if we get both back, should be a heck of a game. Denver won both meetings last year and evidently kept Kansas City out of the playoff picture. Go on to week 2. We've got the opening of the new Highmark Stadium in Buffalo, and the christening will be on Prime Network against the Detroit Lions in what should be a really good interconference matchup between two teams that a lot of people think are on the cusp of maybe getting in the Super Bowl discussion. Buffalo is in the Super Bowl discussion. Detroit is trying to get themselves back into the discussion after a 9-8 year where they suffered through the loss of Ben Johnson to Chicago. Their defense injuries again, but this is a fresh year. You got talented guys on both sides of the ball for both of these teams. Should be very exciting, that week 2 opening at the new Highmark in Buffalo. We also have a few of the Thanksgiving games and Thanksgiving Eve. This is the first time we've ever had a game on Thanksgiving Eve, and that game will be the Green Bay Packers at the LA Rams at SoFi Stadium. On Thanksgiving, we have 2 of the 3 games that have been announced so far. We have Chicago versus Detroit, which will be at 1 o'clock. The 4:25 game will be on Thanksgiving, will be a rivalry game, Philadelphia and Dallas. The first time these guys have been on Thanksgiving since 2013 or 14, I believe. What a battle that's going to, the battles that they have over the years. This will be no exception. We also have the international games that have been announced. We already announced one with San Francisco and the Rams in Australia. Week 4, you've got the Indianapolis Colts and the Washington Redskins and the Washington Commanders playing at London and Tottenham Stadium. You have week 5 at 6 in London. You also have Philadelphia versus Jacksonville at Tottenham. And week 6, you have a divisional game between the Texans and Jacksonville in Wembley Stadium. Week 7, the first game ever in Paris. The first game in Paris will be played in Paris between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints. I forgot one to put on there was week 3 in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, Brazil. You will have the Baltimore Ravens against the Dallas Cowboys. Week 9 in Spain, in Madrid, Spain, you will have the Cincinnati Bengals against the Atlanta Falcons. Joe Burrow's been opening for an international game for years. He finally gets one, but it's all the way over in Spain. And week 10, which may be the best matchup, one of the best matchups of the international games, we have in Munich, Germany. We have the defending AFC champion New England Patriots against the Detroit Lions in Munich, Germany. And we wrap up the international games with week 11, when the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers will play each other in Mexico City, Mexico. Very good slate of games that are at the international games that are scheduled. Roger Goodell wants a plan to play at least 9 every year. He wants to play up to 16 every year, and maybe in the future he wants to have an international division. They're working on their way towards it because the fans over in Europe and all these other some of these countries and its countries that they're playing in absolutely love the NFL, would love the opportunity to have their own team, but they appreciate any teams that come in and play in front of their great fans right there in these international cities. Should be a lot of fun. There are also some other games. There are some other games that are on the schedule that we haven't advertised as well, but those will come out soon. Like you got Seattle versus the Rams. You got divisional matchups where you have hot divisional matchups during the year, like Seattle versus the Rams, San Francisco versus Seattle. You got the Bears and the Packers that play each other twice. You've got Dallas and Philadelphia play each other twice. You got Dallas and the Giants. You got the whole NFC East will battle each other. In the AFC, you've got Buffalo versus New England. They'll play each other twice. You got Denver, Kansas City. You got Pittsburgh and Baltimore. You got Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. You got the Chargers versus the Raiders. You got the Chargers versus the Chiefs and the Broncos. You got all kinds of great matchups and other great matchups that have not been advanced out yet. But until tomorrow night, we will learn about all those matchups. Division, conference matchups, and interconference matchups. Should be very interesting. I'm dying to see it. Two observations I have. One, I want to see what they do with the Kansas City Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes is making his return from a torn ACL. My thing is, do they stack their schedule with tough games early, forcing them maybe to make a return sooner than he is, or will he have big games late that will allow him to be fully recovered, fully healed, to be ready for those late games? You got Chiefs versus Bills in that schedule. You got Philadelphia versus the Rams. You got all kinds of games that are going to have major implications on not just the playoff picture, but the draft pictures and everything else. So the schedule is going to be very interesting when it comes out tomorrow. And a note of interest, there will be an NFL game every day of the week except for Tuesdays. You're going to have Sunday football, Monday night football. You got games that open the season. September the 9th is a Wednesday. You'll have a Christmas Eve. You'll have a Thanksgiving Eve game. You'll have Thursday night football. You will have a Friday night, Black Friday game, and you'll have Saturday games as well. Plus all the holidays like Christmas Day, you got 3 games. Christmas Eve will be a game. There's going to be games all over. They're spreading out 272 games, and we're going to get every single one. And it seems like if you have a streaming service or you have television, you're going to get a chance to probably see every single game in the NFL that's being played this year. This is going to be an amazing year NFL schedule. You got fans that are clamming for more football. People are ready for June 1st. People are ready for July 4th when some of the training camps start open. By the middle of July, everybody will be in training camp. You'll have some deals made. You'll have signings made. The big deal that's right now being out there is that A.J. Brown, they're thinking will be a Patriot sometime after June 1st. We don't know yet for sure. All we're hearing is rumors and a handshake deal, which really in this world doesn't mean a whole lot. Something could happen that could flip everything. It depends on injuries that happen during the training. You got rookies and veterans are in voluntary mini camps right now. It's just going crazy right now. All the stuff that's going on with the NFL and everything's just coming out blip by blip by blip. Tomorrow night, great schedule. We will find out who's playing, what games are happening, when they're happening, so everybody can go to the ticket prices, get your tickets, get your hotel rooms, get everything set and ready. Because I got a feeling this fall is going to be a ton of great football, and we haven't even gotten into what the college game is going to be. And I will do that more next week when I get a chance to find out everything about what's going on the first month of the season in college football. And from what I'm seeing, it's going to be electric. There's some big time games. The first month of college football season is going to be big time. Looking forward to doing that. But the football schedules and everything is just going to be absolutely crazy. This Saturday, folks, will be the running of the shortest race of the Triple Crown Series, will be the Preakness and Pinnacle. There is no Golden Temple or Renegade, as both of them have declined to run out, who finished first and second at the Kentucky Derby, have both declined to run in the Preakness. But come June in the Belmont, both of these horses, we will have a full field where both of these horses will be in the run. The third place horse, Coachella, is one of the favorites at 6-1. And there's a couple others that are favorites in the Pinnacle, but everything that's going on right now, horse racing is just hot, and it's going to be a big crowd at Pimlico Saturday in Baltimore. Also on that coastline up in Philadelphia will be the PGA Championship at Amaret Golf Course in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Got a fantastic field, 156 players. Action starts tomorrow morning. First tee time, 6:45 in the morning. Whoever got that first tee time is obviously going to have to wake up at 3 in the morning just to get themselves ready, just to get themselves warmed up and ready to get to the course and be ready to go at 6:45. You got Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. They have won 4 out of the last 5 majors. They've each won 2. McIlroy just won at the Masters. You got Cameron Young, who's coming in hot, who has 2 victories and 2 other top 10s coming into this tournament. Got Scheffler, of course. You got Matthew Fitzpatrick, who's been hot with top 10s. This is a loaded field on a great historic course in Amaret. First time they've held a major since the 1962 PGA Championship, which was won by Gary Player, one of his 9 majors and part holder of the career Grand Slam. And speaking of that, Jordan Spieth, this will be his 10th attempt to become the 7th man to win all 4 majors in his career. So here's a chance for him to get that elusive PGA championship, which would be absolutely amazing for him. And he's had a really good career. He's gone off a little bit with his putting woes and everything, but it'd be a great weekend. This is a great old style course. Be a great weekend for him if he could roll the rock and putt it well. He's got a chance to finally join that group of Saracen, Nicklaus, Woods, McIlroy, Player, as guys, and Palmer, guys that have won the career Grand Slam. My big game performances this week is going to be a little bit of a humorous award this week, because there's 2 guys out there that the sports world lost. The sports world and the world in general lost over the last week. The great Ted Turner and one of the greatest managers in the history of Major League Baseball, Bobby Cox. Ted Turner, media mogul, philanthropist, captain of an America's Cup yacht winning team in 1977, owned the baseball, owned the Braves, owned the Hawks, but was most renowned for 2 things. Buying a small TV station in Atlanta called Channel 17, which later became WTBS, which became the first major superstation to be put on cable. Cable was basically invented to be put by Ted Turner. That station put him on the map, gave the moniker to the Atlanta Braves, America's team. TBS at that time was known for the Braves. They televised Hawk games. They had Georgia Championship Wrestling, which became World Championship Wrestling in the 80s, and great old style movies that really built up his media mogul and was turned into Turner Classic Movies. He had TNT, but his one crown jewel, he created CNN in 1980. CNN is still going strong to this day, and it's the standard for all news programs that have followed, news networks, cable news networks that have followed since. Ted Turner and also was a philanthropist, believed in giving back to the world. He was big part of the UN, raised a lot of money for the United Nations, was a huge part of everything that was going on media wise, and used his media power to spread his philanthropy and help people all over the world. He will be missed greatly because what he did for the world was something that'll never be seen again. Bobby Cox. I've followed Bobby Cox's career since he was a manager up in Toronto with the Toronto Blue Jays and got them to the American League Championship Series, won the American League East a couple of times. But his real success happened when he came to Atlanta to be a general manager and then became the manager of one of the all-time great baseball dynasty runs in the history of not only baseball, but in the history of professional team sports. From 1991 to 2005, 14 straight NFC National League Eastern Division, National League Division titles. They were in the West when it was revamped. They moved them to the East, and he still won. Made it to the World Series 5 times and got his World Series championship in 1995 with a 4-2 series win over the Cleveland Indians. The players that he managed and coached in those days, he managed guys like Greg Maddux, Tom Glavitt, John Smoltz, Steve Avery, Ron Gant, Freddie Freeman. Brought up Ronald Acuna before he retired. Walt Weiss was not only a player for him, but he became a coach for him, and now who is the manager of the Atlanta Braves, who is doing an outstanding job. You got John Sherholtz, general manager. You got Thomas Dimitroff, who was part of their staff. You got all the fans that were a big part. Dale Murphy, Bob Horner, those guys, all those former Braves. Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, coached world champions, Hall of Famers, great pitchers. 13 Hall of Famers Bobby Cox managed while he was in Atlanta. Think about that in that dynasty. 13 Hall of Famers. It's pretty good. It's pretty fantastic. One of the great all-time managers. We lost him at the age. He was at 75. He was about to be 75 years old in about 2 weeks before he passed away. Bobby Cox, what an amazing baseball man. What a great man, period. And they honored them both last night at Truist Park when they were taking on the Cubs, and it was a beautiful ceremony, absolutely amazing. Those guys are my big game performers, Ted Turner and Bobby Cox, not just for what they did in their field, but what both of them did for everything outside of what they did. It's absolutely amazing. These two men, they will be missed. Braves country will never forget about them. They've got a patch on. The Braves were wearing a patch for the rest of the year to honor both Ted Turner and Bobby Cox, and I think it's a beautiful thing. They should be celebrated. They should be honored. And all of baseball should thank Bobby Cox. And all of television, all of news media, all of the world should thank Ted Turner because he changed the game. His Superstation 1973, when the Superstation became a part of the American fabric, changed television, changed the game forever. You will be missed, both of you, Ted Turner and Bobby Cox. Thank you for joining this week. This was a good show. We talked about the NFL schedule. We talked about what's going on with the NHL, the NBA. Major League Baseball is going good. We'll get more into that. We're going to get more into PGA Championship next week. Next week, we're going to get into college football. There's some schedule, some games already set out that are going to be absolutely electric. Game Day has already announced the first 3 places they're going to be. We'll get into more of that discussion next week. We'll get into a lot of things next week. Who announced teams are going to be. There's some shakeups in the announced teams. It's going to be very fun, very interesting to see who's a part of that. But thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Joining me this week. I enjoy doing this. I really enjoy doing this. And like I said, please keep hitting that like and subscribe button. Keep letting us know what you feel and to comment on the show. Our show is out there every week. I have a great time doing this. It's fun talking to people. It's fun getting out and having people come up and say, I see your show on the air on YouTube. You're doing a fantastic job. That's what I want to hear. We're almost halfway through May, and it's only about to get crazy. We got conference finals for the NBA and the NHL. We got NFL schedule comes up. We're going to talk more about some of the games next week, and when some of them are scheduled, we're going to throw in college football, see when those games are scheduled in. And remember, I just want to talk about when I speak it, it's a big game. Thanks for joining us tonight. I will see you next week. And remember, get out there and watch, get out there and enjoy, because no matter what everybody goes through, everybody sees in life, or whatever troubles, whatever thing you're having in life, sports is the best reality television show in the history of reality television. It's real. It's strong. You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll cheer. You'll boo. And it's all worth it. Thank you, guys. I will see you next week for the KR Big Game Show.
Yeah. KR in the zone. When it's time for the moment, you already know. Flip the channel. Hear that voice. Big stakes, big stage, one choice. From the coin toss to the last shot, he break it all down on the spot. Sideline swagger, zip up jacket. Notes in the pad, whole board mapped it. Every city, every loud crowd chanting. If the trophy on the line, he's standing. It's the KR Big Game Show. You feel that buzz soon as lights go. If it's win or lose, he gon' be there. Talking every play like fresh air. Bills Mafia riding, whole nation loud. Big smile steady in the tensest crowd. When the big game hit, he on call for show. It's the KR Big Game Show. KR in the zone. When it's time for the moment, you already know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the KR Big Game Show with your host, Big Game Kerry Reeves.